And here we are live looking at the mighty MCG, the Coliseum, ahead of the grand final between Collingwood and Brisbane. Big crowd assembled as there always is in front of the Triple M marquee. And look around and see Bernie Vince has had an interesting time. Going to get to Bernard. I'm not sure where he's at.
Quiet.
Damo always builds towards the grand final his week.
Yes.
Fat's been out at Devon Meadows.
Jimmy!
And we have the game's number one caller with us, Brian Taylor.
Brian!
Thank you, Brian.
Just looking at Damo, you think you're a rock star or something. Things have not changed since I left. You still think you're shit hot, don't you?
Why would you say that, BT?
Look at the glasses
Come
and the
on,
slick back
Damo.
hair and bit of colour in the
I've got no
hair.
hair left, BT. I keep getting
Goodness
told that.
gracious
Fake
me,
tan.
Damo. Things
You
have
ready to
changed.
go, Brian?
And what about Bernie? Always sitting close to JB, always right there with JB.
Hang on.
Rock solid with JB.
And what do you got to say about Fat there?
No, we're mates.
He's just a normal bloke.
No,
You know,
he's-
you blokes are all different, but Phil is the only normal person here.
If you call him normal, you've lived a very abnormal life.
No, Brian, he's the best caller in the business.
no
We
question.
love Brian. Oh, you ready to go? You got anything written down you might use today?
No,
Are
Bill.
you going to wait for Josh Kay to give it to you, BT?
The game hasn't actually started yet, Bill. So when the game starts, the story will unfold.
What else?
We're storytellers.
Who's introducing Kiss today?
Who's what?
Introducing Chris. Don't give it to Jim.
I still love that, Jim.
Give us your introduction, JB. How are you going to introduce them? What, give us the line.
Greatest rock band in the world.
They're
Chris,
not.
Put your hands together. Well, they were,
they're
so
not.
you can hang on to that.
Don't tell lies.
You can hang on to that. The great band Kiss. Now,
3 hours of
got it?
makeup, old Gene.
let me just tell you what happened in the 7 commentary enclosure.
Yes, please. We like to know.
So
what
we're all up there just getting our acts together. There's Hodgie and Silk and myself and
Don't
Abby
go
and
there. Don't
Abby
go there.
And
JB.
I don't know what Brian just had to go and attend to something.
Oh, hang
but
on.
his timing couldn't have been worse because the chairman, Kerry Stokes, wanders in. First thing he says to me is, Where's Brian?
Brian?
I'm like,
The boss.
Kerry, I don't know. But it's Brian's most important half hour of the year, and he's missed it.
Well, I can tell you what. I was doing.
A function?
No, I was actually working for the 7 Network, interviewing Scotty Pippen and Luke Longley, who are far more interesting than you blokes. They are far more interesting
What does
people.
Scotty Pippen say?
Scotty Pippen,
Not allowed to ask him about
not allowed to
who's
ask.
a good
Jordan.
player. Jordan, yes.
Not allowed to ask
He's
him
got
about Jordan.
criteria on the interview.
Not allowed to ask him about
on.
Jordan. Not allowed to ask him about the Bullets or whoever they were.
What's the doco?
The Last Dance.
Not allowed to ask
Well,
about
You
that.
can't ask
Not
about the
allowed
Last
to.
Dance.
Well, you know, just on the quiet.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, so don't tell anyone.
Scotty Pippen's
Oh, I hope he's not here.
son is
Yeah.
going out with. No, Michael Jordan's son
yes.
is going out with Scotty Pippen's former wife.
Oh, my goodness.
Hang on.
Former
Are you
wife.
sure you've got
Just
that?
quietly.
Yeah,
No,
Brian,
I
you
think
need to have
there's
that
a-
right, Brian.
No, there's a connection, but I don't think it's that connection.
I think it, no, I think it is.
Is it?
Is it?
Anyway, don't take my word for it.
Oh, no, we won't. We won't.
But it was very uncomfortable.
Could you ask about that?
No, I didn't ask about that.
What did you ask about?
I just asked about why he's here, and he's here to open the NBL season.
Good
It
question.
started on
Yeah, that's
Thursday.
a
A
good
really
question,
good,
yeah.
rock-solid question to start up with.
Yep.
And then we just wandered off into footy. I gave him a bit of coaching clinic on how to handball and stuff, which was pretty...
Did you
And you
catch
missed
up
Kerry
with,
Stokes.
Yeah, did you catch up with Kerry?
Mr. Kerry.
Because knowing you would have sprinted back. You can't run. You would have sprinted back. Kerry, here I am. Kerry.
Like on the EJ Witten's Legends match when he's running across
Yeah,
Prince's
you
Park.
couldn't run there either, fat.
Only those that are insecure about their job would need to see the boss.
Well, speaking of that, I saw Jim at Gil McLaughlin's function on Thursday, BT.
Yes, how was he?
And Kerry was there.
Yes.
And you couldn't get Jim off him.
Never
Oh,
saw it.
really?
I
Barney
actually
called
just said to
yourself on
him,
him.
Kerry, I know you were there. I missed you. Sorry about that. So I didn't actually see the boss.
What happened there? What was the most significant thing that happened in Gil's party?
Travis Old spoke and tore the shreds that were left on Gil off.
A roast.
It was as good a roast as I've heard of a man.
Good.
And I loved every second of it because he's very happy with himself.
Yeah,
as
he is.
we know.
He is.
So when he got the clip. Now, Brian.
All right,
We're not here long. No, you're
I'm
not going
going-
yet.
I'm going.
You're not going yet. You kicked 100 goals in 1986 for Collingwood, won the Coleman.
Yes.
Well, kick
No,
500.
he kicked 100, but that year I'm saying. So you're a legend at the place.
Had 99 and he got a free kick.
Yeah.
from
I know,
David
not-
Cloakes.
I'm not
David
going down there.
Cameron,
Not
David
going
Cloakes'
down
brother.
there.
Wasn't
So, Brian, what are your thoughts on today?
What, the game?
Yes?
Oh, no. Scotty Pippen.
Is there a game
Michael
going?
Jordan's son.
My thoughts on the game are that Brisbane are a better team in better form than what Collingwood are at the moment. Collingwood haven't played well for 8 weeks. really well. They've
What about
played-
the MCG?
Hang on, Bill.
They
I'm in
don't
the middle of my...
Bill. Yeah, Bill. Shut up. Stop
They
interrupting.
played a quarter and a half here and there and got over the line against two teams that really didn't excel on the day either. So I think they've been a bit lucky. If Collingwood don't reach the level where they were 8 weeks ago, I think they're going to find themselves in trouble because Brisbane are extremely strong.
Yep.
Players like McCluggage, incapable of playing a bad game, I think are looking pretty good.
All right. Now, Brian, we always love how your day looks because you call the game magnificently. It's what you feel in around it.
Yes.
That interests me, Brian. So I can see a couple of your family members who have chaperoned you around. You got Ryan or who's...
Tanya?
No, I just
She's on the podcast.
Look, there's 100 metres between where we are and the MCG,
Yes, and
there's 6 more marquees.
It's a fill-up. Actually, you declaring everything?
Most of those are charity.
Invoice.
charity, of course. Always charity.
Anyway,
All right, we'll let you go, Bristol. Going into
Enjoy the day.
calling Brian.
Stop boring the shit out of people.
Brian, well done. Round of applause for Brian. I like that. Devon Meadows, Fat.
Yeah, I got some family out there, Jim,
Have you?
and it was good to catch up with them this morning.
Where is that?
James Harm's territory.
Chompers Harm.
Yes.
Exactly right. 45 minutes down the freeway, Jim.
Righto.
Yeah, near Cranbourne.
Righto.
And Lyndhurst.
Officer.
Clyde.
Clyde.
No, that's a
Officer.
office near, not kind of.
I got lost in Officer once. No, I didn't.
How?
I got lost. I went
lost.
driving and I
That's
took a right where I should have gone left. And I'm driving past these houses where people are peering out behind the curtains. And I thought, I can't stop. I'll end up with no wheels.
With a weapon?
No, I just kept driving until I found my way out. It was an intimidating place to get lost.
I saw our old mate, Wayne Carey.
Oh, the duck.
He's looking good.
Yeah, he always looks good.
Except he had to borrow a T-shirt and it was a bit baggy. And
No,
he
I don't
doesn't
like
like He likes the skin tight.
Was he down at Devon Meadows?
Well, I might have seen him.
He's
on the
also
way.
got family down there.
Family.
He's got family
A lot
down
of
there.
family down there.
No, gee, the kids, they grow up, don't they?
Oh, what a call that
I
is.
hadn't seen them for a while.
What,
Little
your kids?
Archie and Izzy. No, the kids, my family down there.
Oh,
Nieces.
yeah, no, family.
The niece
Yeah,
and
you
the
actually got-
nephew.
You actually got family over there.
I'll tell you where your family are.
Where?
Europe.
Paris.
South of France.
Oh, don't you? And when
Portugal.
the only time I get a call, guess what?
What?
Money.
Money. Ooh, and they scream. What is it when you come through on the
FaceTime?
FaceTime you?
Don't help him.
Yeah, FaceTime.
Bernie.
And when they FaceTime you, that's when they need money.
Right.
If it's just a normal call, they're okay. But when they
Well, Bill, you don't have to take the FaceTime. You can just say, sorry, I was busy.
well, yeah, I know, but I'm a very generous dad. And so the Gills thing was all right.
Was
we
good.
like that.
No, it was very
Damo,
good.
you went?
I did, Bill, and
Yeah.
it was a really good night. It was. He's officially going. He's
Yeah.
packed up his
Yeah,
office.
when?
Yeah, and we say that seriously though, because he was going this time last year, and then ended up staying for the 12 months, and then tried to spend most of the year trying to stay on again. But he's officially going, Bill.
So we walk into this room.
Yes.
And it was a beautiful room in Windsor. And it's like an L shape, and there's these huge televisions that are made out to look like pieces of art. So it's actually quite cleverly done. But as you walk in, there's about 15 of them, all of them with a massive, great big 2 metre by sort of 1 metre photo of Gill. All of them.
No.
So anyway, and then the speeches are all shown on these TVs, and all the sort of highlights of him with celebrities and all of his time. Anyway, Gill gets up to speak. And one of the last things he said was, look, I've probably said enough. This all feels like it's a bit self-indulgent. I saw him afterwards. I said, which bit? Which bit's self-indulgent? Just get us started.
Well,
A few more photos.
remember the Foss did that, and his 70th birthday.
Yeah, he did.
It's not going to be about me.
I'm not gonna speak.
I won't speak tonight. 7 times he got up.
Got up 7 times and spoke. Yeah, but at least he didn't have photos of himself everywhere within the room.
Who hosted it?
What? Haim.
Oh,
What about you, Bernard?
Yeah.
You've been you and Texan.
Pretty quiet. We come over Thursday morning, Jim.
Wouldn't have been quiet, so
no.
that's a lie.
Thursday was a little bit unquiet.
I heard you ended up at the
Unquiet.
Port Melbourne Bowls Club after hours again, Bertie.
Well, I just thought I'd take a few people down there. Just it's an experience. You need to go through that.
How did Texan go at the Port Melbourne Bowls?
He fitted right in. Yep.
Yeah.
He fitted in. They speak the same language. Can't understand most of them. And Tex just knew exactly what they were saying. Because where'd he go? What school, Bill?
He went to Broken High.
Broken High Hill.
At the Brownlow gym, I was talking to someone, and then someone came from behind me and literally took the air out of me with a bear hug from behind. Texan.
You know how when Tex is starting to have too many personality tablets?
Yep.
Because I reckon he works normally at about 20 words a minute.
Yep.
Normally, maybe 15.
That's a few.
Yeah,
15 to 20,
12
that's
to
about
15.
it. Then when he starts, each one takes 5 words off that. So by the time he's had 6 or 7, he's had 2 or 3 words.
1 word a minute.
Yep.
You know what he said? What he did say this morning, though? He goes, "Oh, you're doing the rub. I might come past and have a look." I goes, "Who's on there again?" I said, "You've forgotten, have you?"
Yep.
And once I got to Damo's name, he goes, "Oh, I'm targeting that bastard. Tell him I'm taking him down. He's my target."
Tell you what happened last night.
What
At a venue in Melbourne, one of the great drink-offs, if I can say.
No, we
that.
can't responsibly.
Responsibly.
Yes.
Of all
say it.
time. One corner, Stevie J.
Oh, good.
The other corner, Jonathan Brown.
Yeah.
Stevie
And
wins
ding,
that because
ding, ding,
Brownie's
ding.
got no weight on him anymore.
Where has that weight gone?
Yeah.
Peeling off.
How do you lose weight like that?
Well, why don't you go and have a chat?
Well, I got his weight. Oh, that's unfair. I don't know.
That shirt would have fit last year too, Bill. I don't know why you went with it again.
It's hot, isn't it?
Oh no! Don't take any layers off. No layers
Bill.
off.
No.
No one wants to see that.
Yes, they do.
Right, now, we need to test the room. Because
room.
it's bloody hot. We haven't got
Don't
as many.
mention that
Normally
again.
we got millions out the front here, but they're
It is hot.
getting some shelter. But have we got any Collingwood fans here? Now, I've been surprised at this day, mate.
Yeah.
What about the Brisbane Lions? More than I thought.
Yes.
More than I thought. I like it.
No, there was good representation at the parade yesterday, Jim. It was
Bloody oath.
about the best there's ever been, and there was a heap of Lion supporters inside the ground as well.
You know, Craig Kelly was on before us, DSL,
Oh, no.
and he gave away 2 tickets
No.
for the grand final to a Collingwood supporter. Jim,
He's a
can
pest.
you do that?
He's a pest, Craig Kelly.
Well, he's. I tell you
He's
what,
one of
he's
those
in the
blokes
good books.
that go, no, well, of course, he's the CEO, he's doing a great job, but he's one of those blokes that you can't run into without him mauling you.
Nah.
Yeah.
You get a headache, you get a punch in the guts.
Normally,
you
most
get, you get a
CEOs,
dead leg.
CEOs would keep their head down. I was saying, keep your head down and avoid the crowd, and get in and do your job. When he's walking through here, he attacks people.
Yeah.
He goes up to
does.
the Collingwood. Hey, I'm Craig Kelly. I'm the CEO. I've turned this club around. He's done bugger all.
I'd like to say he's turned into a wanker, but he always was a wanker.
Exactly right.
Purple, so that's where we're at now.
2 best teams throughout the year, Jim. Collingwood, home ground advantage, minor premiers, Brisbane have had the edge, winning
What-
the
what
last
are you
6
doing?
contests
What's
between
this?
the two.
What's this?
Someone's left there.
All right.
Someone's left there.
Joey Montagna.
enough coming up. Daisy Thomas is going to join us. Chris Judd, I understand, is
yes.
Love every time we see him. Maybe the quiz. Maybe.
Yeah,
no, definitely.
No, they want the quiz because I'm going down there.
And what are you giving away?
$500 voucher, I think.
5, double.
Thirsty Camel. Don't worry about that. $500 voucher coming up.
Cam Bruce, Simon Black. It's going to be an absolute monster.
Ring now.
Hard yak and you breathe. The Aussie Legends toughness is in their DNA.
1-3-3-5-3.
McDonald's and Remont Water. Triple M rocks the grand final. Well, normally on any stage, I'm the star, I'm the eye candy, I'm the man.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
presence. Every now and then, I've got to just hand that mantle on because someone with a bit more juice wanders in. And I'm talking about the great Chris Judd. Everybody, put your hands together. Grand final specialist. How are you, mate?
I'm good, JB. Thanks for having me on, and we're excited about the game. I think you've got the 2 best teams in it.
You're handing over the Norm Smith medal. So I just want you to remember that it needs to be the winner of the Norm Smith medal, not the winner of the Chris Judd medal. Have you got a Ross Glendenning in you?
I'm handing it over. I'm not voting on it,
Yep.
technically, JB, but it does bring into question who has more power in that relationship, the people voting or the person that calls out the name. And there'll be some judges that do their votes, and that's cute. But we'll see what name gets read out. But it's hard to walk that back once it gets announced, Damien.
You couldn't rule that possibility out when we spoke to you about this a couple of weeks ago on the Friday huddle, and it is a live chance that you might just do a Ross Glendenning.
Sometimes you've got to put on your big boy pants and be courageous, Damien. And, I don't really want to turn it in all about me today, but if I get that opportunity, Perp.
You wouldn't be the first to make it all about that, so don't worry about that.
Exactly.
What's the build-up been like? I think you West Coast boys often get together grand final week, is that
Yes, we were true to form, caught up with Cyclone Embley
Yeah,
and Big Q Stick and a couple other Perth
Yes.
lads yesterday for lunch.
The big
Grill
Q.
Americano.
How's the big Q going?
He is in very good form and just has amazing staying power, Bill. I'm not sure if you've had a beer with Q Stick, but he'd be right at home with you and your buddies down there at Geelong.
Yep.
So, no, they were good. So, Grill Americano into Bar Bambi. Yeah, a little bit of ugliness, JB.
I was going to say,
A little bit of ugliness.
was it like Joel Garner in the late 70s? Did it get a bit big on you? Or?
Yeah, they got late early, put it that way. And, but anyway, it was a good night. And Mrs. was suitably wrapped when I came home.
Oh,
It
she's
was
home.
speaking gibberish.
It
So,
was like the West Coast Eagles in 2004 or 5 or 6.
wasn't it that sort of level, Damien? No.
I saw Embers yesterday. He goes, Mate, have you been to this joint called Bambi or Bar Bambi or something? I said, yeah, I've been there. He goes, oh, boy.
Do you have any mates from Carlton?
Yes,
Because
Phil.
you always talk about the West Coast
Scored up with Jamo then, so I've got mates there.
You haven't
too,
got
Phil.
too many, but have you? It's all- every story's about West Coast.
Went over to the Super Bowl with Murph this year, Billy.
Oh, right. So there's two. Yep.
Right.
We had Richard Pratt was his best mate there too.
Oh,
Good
yes.
man, Dick Pratt.
Nothing
Very
wrong with
good
that.
man.
Yes. And Beck's home, is she?
She's back. She's had a big few weeks away doing the amazing race and going on adventures, Bill. So she's back and operating a household at full capacity.
I saw her on the ads, and there was cow poo, and she had to put her hands in it and things like that. Like, I thought, how are you going to go here, Beck? But she had a crack at it.
She had a crack, yeah, cow poo, and there's a few other notable challenges, Bill, which I'm not sure if we're allowed to speak about yet. But it was one of those things. Her and her sister grew up watching the show, and it was their dream to do it. I couldn't get any worse than doing it, Bill. But they went off for a few weeks and did that, and they had a ball.
How'd you go with the stay-at-home dad? Did the kids get to school on time? Did they get fed?
I was 3 days launching a new business, Burns. It was a challenging 3.5 week period. I'm not going to lie. It had its moments, but we got through, and the kids are a lot better for it, Burn. They're a lot more able to do things on their own now. So no, we made it through.
And that launch of the business has gone well, as you were telling us last week.
4 months into Cerity, yes, that's good. Purple, a small funds management business. So far so good, but very early days.
Cerity.
Tell us about your mornings when you played in those incredible grand finals. Were you calm in the knowledge that you were best on show, or were you nervous?
I was a hyper anxious type when I was playing, and you hear their players now talk about enjoying the week and all that stuff, and that's just wasn't my point of view at all. I like to get a mental model about a situation you're going through, and once I've got that, I'm sort of at peace. So for me, it was coming back to that joke you have about two boys that come across a Canadian black bear in the woods.
Oh, hello.
Right? And the Canadian black bear's going to attack them.
Yep.
One of them drops to his knees and starts praying to God. The other one starts tying his shoelaces.
Yes.
And the guy praying to God goes to his mate, you can't outrun a Canadian black bear. And he says, I don't need to outrun the bear, I just got to outrun you.
Yeah.
And that was my mindset. Everyone was going to be nervous. You don't have to be unaffected by the nerves. You just got to be affected less than the 22 blokes on the other team. So I kept coming back to that, and that served
Every
me well.
time you went back to that, did you?
Went back to the Black Bears.
Remember that?
Remember that, Bill?
Yeah.
Now, Benny Cousins has been in town and looking fantastic.
Looks
You caught up
good.
with him?
Cuz he's going great. Spoke to him yesterday. I might be catching up with him tonight. And I'm in Perth in a few weeks' time, so we'll see him then. But he's going great. He's healthy.
looks
He's coaching his
amazing.
son's footy team.
Bloody oath.
Got some work at a mining engineering company, doing some media, and he's going great. So everyone's wrapped for him.
What do you think about Lockie Neal? Now a two-timer. Brownlow, just like you. He's joined the ranks.
It was great. He's a star. He's a really deserving winner. I would have loved to have seen the Bont win because I reckon he had a great year as well. But I just think Lockie Neal's the most brilliant player and a thoroughly deserving two-timer. And it's good to have him in the club.
Well, speaking of that club,
Yeah, how many
I
are there?
was in the room when Juddy won his second one, and we're talking about one of the all-time greats of the game, but I thought the second one was... Well, I thought he was lucky to just slide
Just got
through.
over the line.
So I saw him afterwards, and he looked at me and he said, "You don't think I should have won that, Jim, do you?" I said, "I didn't think. I thought you had better years." His answer to me was, "This is more a lifetime achievement. This one."
Accumulation, you reckon?
I mean, I didn't like when people were criticising Neil for getting votes when he shouldn't have, because I thought they could scratch the surface on the Carlton Brownlow, and perhaps I'd be next in line. But no, he's had a brilliant year, and I love him as a player. So well done.
What's going to happen? The 2 hours of the game.
I think Brizzy in a close one. I was up at Brisbane watching them last week, and they were just incredibly even. They closed down the outlets so well for teams trying to switch it out of defence, and I think they can slow Collingwood down a little bit. I think they'll tag DeGoey, who was just outstanding last week, and I think Dunkley will be able to squash his influence to some extent. But yeah,
Which he did with Cripps last week.
He did. He's
Got
a bit of a
form.
star, Dunkley. But as I said at the start, I really do think we've got the two best teams, and hopefully it's a close one.
You must have been proud too, Juddy, of what Carlton ended up doing this year. I know you're not officially part of the board any longer, but you did have some key roles there, and the way they fought their way through, it was very impressive in the end.
It's great for the footy club, and just so nice to see Carlton fans so happy. It hasn't been a heap to celebrate for an extended period, but you go up to Brisbane and the Melbourne game here, the joy that Carlton fans had, and just the way the club was able to stick together and stick fat, I thought was really mature. From the board to the admin to the coaches down to the playing group. thought it was really admirable. I think they'll get a lot of confidence out of that going forward.
Well, speaking about blokes who were stars at one club and then superannuated themselves at Carlton, there's no doubt that's what Juddy did.
Yeah.
He just came
That's
out
hurtful.
here.
That's not
top
true
up.
and hurtful.
It was
top up.
some of the most incredible stuff being piled in there I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Coming
Including
from everywhere.
You did the recycle bags.
he was some sort of recycling guru at some stage. He was involved in packaging.
Yeah, a jigsaw puzzle.
He was everywhere. But another man who did the same thing, Daisy Thomas. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, that's true.
He also managed to just get hold of Dick and say, listen, I need a bit of help.
What is he wearing, by the way? We'll
Not
talk
sure.
about that when he comes
Not
on.
sure.
Some custom-made
It was very mixed.
junk.
Very mixed.
He's not right, is he?
No.
You were looking like Peter Andre before, Bill. You had the shirt
2.5 men.
unbuttoned down to your,
Peter
down to
Andre.
your belly button.
Hey, did you talk about during the week when your first game, when Chris Scott belted the crap out of you, and then you went to Brad Scott and he belted the crap out of you? That was, tell the people.
I had my first ever game against Brisbane. I line up on Chris Scott, which is just your worst nightmare
Yes.
as an 18-year-old. And the ball bounced, came in off the square, and what looked like another Chris Scott came sprinting across, and it was his brother. And he put my AC joint. I got up, ball went over my head, looking at the ball. Chris Scott elbowed me in the chin, split me open. Within 90 seconds, I had a busted AC joint, bleeding from my chin, and a cut that on a gash that I cut every day shaving for the next 5 years, Bill. Sitting in the forward pocket, drinks boy comes out to Chris Scott, gives him the drink bottle and says, Chris Scott takes a drink, looks at me and says, clean yourself up, you little bitch. And handed me the drink bottle. And I sort of felt like I had Stockholm syndrome. On the one hand, you do need to clean yourself up, but on the other hand, it's emasculating grabbing that off Chris Scott. So in the end, took the drink, avoided eye contact, and squirted the chin, and it's always stayed with me.
And then a year later, had your breakout game when you managed to kick 5 goals in a quarter
Snuck a
against
couple
them,
in.
basically.
Snuck a couple in. Bill.
No, I have a list.
Should have handed him the water bottle back. Clean yourself up.
I love that. And those two brothers deny any of that ever happened.
Of course they
When you speak to them now, no, never.
no.
They're like Alan Border. Angriest cricketer ever. You see him now, I never said any of that.
Captain Grumpy.
Juddy, great to see you, mate. Enjoy the day, and great honour, too, to hand out the Norm Smith.
Thanks, gents. Good
Well
calling.
done, mate.
Superstar Chris Judd.
Ah.
Speaking of stars, Daisy Thomas going to join us next. I can see Nath Brown up the back there as well. Stars everywhere on Triple M. Come and see us if you're live here at the MCG for Hard Yakka Workwear, McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks the grand final.
Cunningham to the goal square, and Daisy Thomas back with a flight. Daisy, great courage.
Dawes hand passes to the goal square. Thomas turns around and pops it through on the bounce.
Cunningham feeds the handball to Daisy, quickly under pressure. Ball round the corner, got two.
Dale Thomas, I think it is, loose inside 50. Finds him, Marks, plays on, sold foot Candy, took a bounce, turned him inside out, double bounce, right foot sidewinder. Got it, Thomas, big goal.
Number 13, Dale Thomas.
Oh, put your hands together for Daisy Thomas.
Yeah!
What are you wearing, Bill?
I always say, we'll get to that in a sec. I always say to Pies fans, take an extra special look.
Yep.
You don't see a live premiership player from Collingwood very often. That is a beautiful man he is too. Good to see you, mate.
Yes, thanks very much for having me. Good to see all the Pies fans out and
hallelujah.
about too. I tell you what, good feelings about today. They're
All
slightly
right.
nervous, but they're making some good noise early.
What about his record? 3 grand finals, 1, 1 and 1. That's unbelievable. Not many have done that.
Only averaged 29.5 at a goal in all of them too, Bills.
No doubt about
1
it.
win, 1 draw and 1 loss.
What's your
That'd be
record?
the
I
other
can
one.
see you just
That'd
going,
be the
oh,
other
what's
one.
that?
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
trying to work.
I hear that.
Have you found the heart really reattach itself this week to the Pies?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It always is this time of year, obviously, winning a flag with the Pies. And I love the fact that for most of them, they've forgiven me for getting booted out and going across to the other side of town with a side that starts with C as well. So I'm very happy to be back in the black and white stripes today. And hopefully, fingers crossed, there can be a new crop of premiership stars come about 4:30.
But you don't hope that because you want to be the last premiership player.
Nah, I'm happy this year. It's going on too long. Like,
No, it is.
If I keep doing these weeks, it's going to knock years off me life.
And mind you, it was meant to be a bit earlier. It was caught in the September club just being a little bit...
Oh, were you?
I know Captain Dum Dum. I went up to the Triple M box in the media centre. Only talked about this live site for the last 5 months.
Are you close with any of the current players still? Obviously, a couple of premiership players still playing. The side bottom, Pendlebury.
Well, I thought I was close with Sidey, but then he obviously didn't invite me to his wedding.
Oh, I burnt you.
Yeah, so he toasted me.
He's
So
out.
I went then and got engaged.
And
so just-
Saudi didn't either as well, did he?
that's what we're talking
Oh,
about.
sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Purple, come on.
yeah.
Keep up, Purple.
Straighten up, purple.
Smarten up,
Come on,
Purple.
the
but
glasses
of-
are getting in your way.
But of the rest of them, it's only Scotty Pendlebury who obviously mates with, and you know it's like, Bern. You try and stay out of the way as much as you can. You don't, want,
get
to,
in
you don't want to
there.
insert yourself and be an absolute
get in
wanker.
there.
Bill does.
Did you go to a West Coast reunion?
Yeah,
No, two of them.
I got invoice for it.
Sold his jumper.
Invoiced. Hey, well, it's changed, hasn't it? Players now, and we used to build up and you try and keep everything the same and routine. Jack Ginnivan went to Moonee Valley races last night.
Yeah, what a delight.
That is unbelievable.
I love it. It's brilliant, but it's really bizarre.
Yeah.
You'd be thinking that, you know, the night before the granny, you'd be tucked up in bed,
Yep.
sort of trying to relax yourself, and he's out at the valley having a dabble on the ponies.
Back in Imperative. Well, that wasn't a bad win, was it?
Was that backing?
What did Bill say then?
Oh, yeah. Are we comfortable
No,
with
good
it?
win.
The dump button doesn't need to
Imperative.
be there.
Backing. I said backing.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
I said something with a CK in it.
What does a day look like, Days?
He doesn't know.
I've just done some Channel 7 stuff this morning, then into September Club, now here, sit down in a mate's box, couple of elbow bends, and hopefully the Pies win and we all go berserk.
Yes. Where will you go if they win?
After party?
No, I'm not going the official after party. I'll probably go to Electric.
And wait for him.
Bar Bambi.
Bar Bambi, yes. Tramp.
Popular.
Revolver.
Not Tramp.
Yes.
No way.
I'll wander in there for a
I
bit.
love it. I know you've got lots to do, so we'll let you go. Good luck today for you.
Thank you, Tony.
On your
Go
days.
Pies!
Thomas, the star.